Blind people, what was your best and worst experience being blind? I have always felt insecure because I'm hugely dependent on my husband to take care of my needs. If I want a cup of coffee, I have to ask him to make one. If I want to go outside for some fresh air, I have to ask him to accompany me. Every time he's not right by my side, I get panic attacks and lose my cool. I recently lost my eyesight because of an accident, and ever since then I just can't stop feeling useless and insecure. So when my therapist advised me to communicate my insecurity with him and listen to what he thinks, I decided to tell him everything. My husband was very supportive of me, and said he has been waiting for me to bring this up. He wants me to regain my confidence as well as independence. I was super happy to hear that, so we decided to set up exercises as a way for me to slowly start taking on more tasks. Stuff like cleaning our room, unloading groceries and opening the front door for guests. But one day, my husband was busy at work and I noticed that we were all out of groceries. I thought I could lighten his burden if I could Uber my way to Walmart and buy the groceries for him. It was a nerve-wracking endeavor, but I believed I could do it. Plus I wanted to surprise him. So I Ubered to Walmart and using my trusty cane, I slowly started navigating the store. I was constantly bumping into things, but other people were being helpful and I had almost gathered everything I needed. That's when my cane accidentally tapped something softer than a display rack, a child. I quickly apologized and said I didn't see the child there, and asked if he was hurt. Here's where the entitled mother comes in. She yelled at the top of her lungs, "How could you not see him? He's clearly right here." I awkwardly explained to her that I'm blind, but she said I'm lying because I'm not wearing sunglasses. She accused me of faking blindness as an excuse to be a jerk to her kid. I got a bit frustrated but calmly explained that good sunglasses are expensive, and besides, I don't need to wear them indoors. The entitled mother kept on berating me and calling me a liar, which is when my worst nightmare came true. My white cane, my only lifeline in a dark world, was snatched from my hands by the entitled kid who started playing with it as a toy. All of a sudden I was left feeling vulnerable. I no longer had my cane in a place full of things I could bump into and injure myself. Despite the oncoming panic attack, I pleaded with them to kindly give it back. My voice was shaking and I was struggling to form words because it felt like I would sink right through the floor without my cane. The entitled mother told me to shut up, and that her son deserved to play with a stick more than I did. I could hear the cane constantly scraping and crashing into displays, and the noises slowly going farther away from me. The entire situation was heartbreaking and I just broke into uncontrollable tears. The first time I went outside by myself and I was left trapped in a busy store, helpless in front of strangers. I thought I was going to start hyperventilating, when an unlikely person came to my rescue. I felt a strong hand rest on my shoulder and a man's comforting voice asked, "Are you okay?" I shook my head from right to left, and he told me to stay put while he took off. I could hear his footsteps travel across the entire floor like a hero charging into battle. That's when I heard a loud crash, followed by the entitled mother's screech. The man, whom I'm now calling Awesome Guy, returned and gently placed my cane back in my hands. I tried to thank him in between my tears, but he brushed it off and helped me stand back up. Then, while picking up the groceries I had dropped earlier, he said, "Don't worry about it. Some people are just monsters." It felt like my faith in humanity was destroyed and rebuilt within seconds, much like a cruel joke. Awesome Guy even helped me go to the checkout, and then leave the store to get into my Uber. I heard the entitled mother shout behind us, talking about how my savior had flung her child into a cart and broken all his bones. It was an absurd exaggeration and made me chuckle, which is when the guy was convinced that I'd recovered and returned to his own task. The sense of safety I felt after being through the terror of being stranded in darkness is something I will never forget. No matter how alone and vulnerable I am, there will always be that one hero who would stand up for me.